Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to RAMSAR webinar 2025, which is titled Sustainable Resource Management and Development in the Wetlands Area. My name is Dr. Dana Badang from the Park Management Unit, and I'll be your moderator today, together with Madam Sophia from Sarawak Forestry Corporation. And for your information, the only RAMSAR site in Sarawak, which is Kuching Wetland National Park, is an international or UNESCO recognition site located within the Sarawak Delta aspiring UNESCO Global Geopark. So thank you for joining us. We have the fantastic session lined up, actually, filled with insight and discussion from our 4 esteemed panelists, actually, and please stay tuned until the very end of this session.
That's right, Doctor. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so that you know how to participate. So we are going to do the recording for today so that you guys can refer back to our recording later. So most of you, I'm sure, is going to be joining through your own computer desktop or your laptop. So if you want to join us over the phone, you can just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You may click on other numbers to find the dial-in number of your own country. You also have the option to watch us live on Sarawak Forestry Corporation's Facebook page. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's panelists by typing your questions in the chat box. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation, and we will collect them and we will answer them during the final session of the presentation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, to officially kick off today's program, we would like to invite Mr. Abang Arabi, the General Manager of Sarawak Forestry Corporation, for the welcoming space. For your information, he is also the controller of National Park and Nature Reserve, and also the controller of the wildlife in Sarawak, Malaysia. Without further ado, please join us in welcoming Yang Berusaha, Mr. Abang Arabi, to deliver the welcoming speech. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, respected colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this important webinar on sustainable resource management and development in wetlands. Joined by Sarawak Forestry Corporation and the Geopark Management Unit of the Forest Department of Sarawak. Today's event brings together voices from across the region, each with a shared commitment to the conservation and wise use of our precious wetland ecosystem. It is an honor to have with us a distinguished lineup of panelists representing Sarawak Wetlands Conservation Society, Killing Your Forest Park in Langkawi, Sunshine Bay Wetland Reserve in Victoria, and of course, our very own Forest Department. As many of you are aware, the RAMSAR Convention provides the global frameworks for the conservation and wise use of wetland. Here in Sarawak, we are proud to be home to the Kuching Wetland National Park, designated as a RAMSAR site in 2005. Spanning over 6,610 hectares, Kuching Wetland National Park represents a vital mangrove ecosystem and serve as a critical habitat for endangered species such as the Proboscis mighty and estuary crocodile. It is also an important breeding nursery ground for many fish and prawns. Ladies and gentlemen, the designation of Kuching Wetland National Park as a RAMSAR site is not only a recognition to its international ecological significance, but also a call to action, a commitment to preserve this landscape for generations to come. Wetland plays a crucial role in maintaining biodiversity, protecting shorelines, filtering pollutant, and supporting local communities through sustainable livelihood. This webinar provides us with a platform to share best practice, explore innovative approaches, and strengthen collaboration. Our goal is not just to celebrate success stories, but also to examine challenges, climate change, solution, and balance conservation with responsible growth. I sincerely hope that today's sharing session will foster new ideas, partnerships, and renewed energy in our collective efforts to conserve wetlands. Let us work hand in hand to ensure that our RAMSAR site remain resilient, biodiverse, and sustainable for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to wish to all our Muslim colleagues and participants Selamat Hari Raya Maha Zahir and Batin 2025. Once again, welcome and thank you for being part of this meaningful initiative. With that, I wish you a fruitful and engaging session ahead. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Yang Berusaha, Mr. Abang Arabi, for setting the tone for today's event. Now, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Abdul Aziz. He is responsible for managing Kuching Wetland National Park, which is also a RAMSAR site in the aspects of science, engineering, and ecology, implementing wildlife and plant monitoring. Apart from management, he has technical abilities such as remote sensing and spatial imaging, which he learned through the GIS masterclass in Netherlands. He utilized that knowledge to carry out monitoring work and preservation of Kuching Wetland National Park. We are privileged to hear his insight today on change management of Kuching Wetland National Park, adaptation to implementation. Now I'll hand over to Mr. Abdul Aziz.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Sarawakku sayang. Good morning everyone, and a special greetings to our esteemed RAMSAR members. Colleagues from the Sarawak Delta Geopark, industry professionals, and all passionate individuals joining us today. It is an honor to connect with such a dedicated global community, united by the vital importance of sustainable resource management and development in wetlands. As we gathered virtually, I want to bring our focus to a tangible example right here in Kuching, Sarawak, a place deeply intertwined with the beauty and ecological significance of these unique environments. I am particularly excited to share a local story of adaptation and enduring principles that I believe holds valuable lessons for us all. Our focus today center on the change management of Kuching Wetland National Park, adaptation to implementation. Now, while this might seem like a specific case study from our corner of Borneo, I believe it is powerfully reflects the broader crucial themes of sustainability in action. It's a narrative that illustrates how even well-established protected area designated under the esteemed RAMSAR Convention must possess the agility and foresights to evolve and adapt their management strategy to ensure the long-term wise use of resources, a principle that form the very foundation of wetland conservation worldwide. For a significant period, spanning nearly 2 decades from 2002 to 2019, the Kuching Wetland National Park operated under a unique model as an unmanned protected area. The responsibility for its preservation rested with a dedicated team at the Sarawak Forestry Department, who diligently oversaw its ecological integrity from a distance. This initial approach reflected the resource and priorities of at that time. However, as the landscape of conservation evolved and as our understanding of the intricate relationship between protected area and surrounding communities deepened, the needs for a more direct and engaged management approach become increasingly apparent. Recognizing these growing pressures and the immense potential for enhanced conservation outcomes, coupled with the opportunity for more meaningful community involvement, a pivotal shift occurred in 2020. The management of Kuching Wetland National Park transitioned to the purview of Sarawak Forestry Corporation, marking its transformation into a manned park. This wasn't simply a change in administrative structure. It represents strategic adaptations to better address the evolving challenges and opportunities in wetland conservation. This transition brought about tangible changes. It's allowed for the establishment of on-site presence, enabling more active monitoring, enhanced enforcement against potential threats, and crucially, the development of direct engagement programs with the local community lives alongside the park. This shift recognized the effective conservation isn't just about protecting boundaries. It's about fostering a sense of stewardship and shared responsibility with those who are most intimately connected to the land and its resources. However, and this is a critical point, this change in management did not significantly a departure from the fundamental principle that guided its initial protections. The core regulations safeguarding the ecological integrity of this vital wetland ecosystem remains steadfast. The legal framework and commitment to preserving its biodiversity were unwavering. And underpinning it all, the guiding stars of the RAMSAR Convention, the wise use of resources, continued to be the center tenets of all management decisions. This principle, emphasizing the sustainable utilization of wetlands for human benefits while maintaining their ecological character, has been the constant thread throughout this evolution. This journey of Kuching Wetland National Park offers profound and broadly applicable lessons for all of us involving in wetland conservation and sustainable development. Firstly, it powerfully illustrates that despite the inevitable differences in management setup, the varying nuisance of local regulation across diverse RAMSAR sites globally, and even in situations where other important destinations like Sarawak Delta Geopark are nested within RAMSAR areas. for fundamental principle of wise use resources remain unwavering and universally applicable cornerstone. These principles provide a common ethical and practical framework for navigating the complex interplay between conservation and human needs. Secondly, our experience in Kuching emphatically underscore the absolutely indispensable role of the communities that live in and around this precious wetland ecosystem. This intimate knowledge, their cultural connection, and their daily interactions with the land make them crucial partners in conservation efforts. The transition to a manned park has facilitated more direct and meaningful engagement, fostering a sense of ownership, building capacity, and ensuring that the benefits of wetlands conservation are shared with those who often bear the greatest responsibility for its well-being. This active involvement is not a peripheral consideration. It is a fundamental prerequisite for long-term sustainability. Finally, the story highlights the importance of adaptability and proactive change management in the face of evolving circumstances. Conservation is not a static endeavor. As environmental pressures, societal needs, and our understanding of ecological processes change, our management strategy must also adapt. The willingness to reassess and implement changes while staying true to core principles is essential for ensuring the continued health and resilience of our vital wetland ecosystem. The story of Kuching Wetland National Park is more than just a local anecdote. It is a powerful reminder that achieving sustainable resource management in wetland is a dynamic journey. It requires not only a deep understanding of ecological principles, but also the flexibility to adapt our approaches and an unwavering commitment to the wise use of resources and meaningfully engagement of the local communities. Let this example inspire us all to embrace change thoughtfully, to prioritize collaboration, and to always keep the long-term health and vitality of this valuable ecosystem at the hearts of our efforts. By doing so, we can collaboratively ensure a thriving future for the wetlands around the globe, benefiting both nature and humanity for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you for your sharing, Saudara Mr. Abdul Aziz. For our first panelist, we have Mr. Anik ED, I guess all the way from Sabah, here with us. He will share about the management of RAMSAR site by a non-governmental organization in Sabah. He has worked with the Sabah Wetland Conservation Society for about a year, and he also has an experience in vessel operation and conservation research. Mr. Muhammad Anik, his hometown is from Kota Belud, but now he's live in Kelias Peninsula actually. Another wetland in Sabah, in Malaysia, which is also to strengthen his mission in conserving the wetland, particularly in Sabah. So let's welcome Mr. Muhammad Anik Yadi for his presentation. Over to you, Mr. Muhammad Anik.
you for the thank you for from the master ceremony. Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. For that, can you hear my voice? Right. So, can you guys can hear my voice? So thank you once again, the MC for this talk. So my name is Muhammad Anikyadi, and I am a conservation and science officer of Kota Kinabalu Wetland, RAMSAR site, representing the park manager of KK Wetland. Right before that, I think it's good for us to, I want to share a little bit of a history of RAMSAR. So historically, the RAMSAR Convention, which is also known as the Convention of Wetland, is the oldest modern global intergovernmental environmental agreement. So this was started in the 1960s, and this movement was driven by concerns about the loss of and degradation of wetland habitat for migratory waterbirds. So this the convention was adopted in the Iranian city of RAMSAR, which the name of RAMSAR comes from, and it officially came into force 4 years later. So the aim of being a RAMSAR site is able to halt the worldwide loss of wetlands and to conserve that remain through wise use and management of mangrove forests. Right. So coming back to here in Sabah, around 45 years ago, in the 1980s, there's a group of environmentalists from WWF Malaysia and others. They discovered a swamp here in Kota Kinabalu, which is also located in Likas. During that time, they call this place as Likas Mangroves, and it's moved the idea of lobbying this area for its protection. Right. And when they found this place, they have seen 200 houses was built illegally in this mangrove area. So by illegally building these houses, it leads to the pollution and also destruction of this mangrove forest, because of there's no access of them for the proper waste management system and proper thing for them to be able to use in this area, right? So this has been causing a lot of trash going around here and a very low water quality caused by this illegal construction of houses. So these environmentalists from WWF met the Sabah Chief Minister during that time, and he was instrumental in approving the designation of the Likas mangrove as a bird sanctuary at first during the year 1996. And from this point of time, the work of conserving this mangrove area has started. And consequently, the site was gazetted as a cultural heritage area site in 1999. And then the name changed to the area then called as a Kota Kinabalu City Bird Sanctuary. So during this time, this place was still not open to the public, meaning it's still under construction for the ecotourism in the future. All right, so these are the crucial events that been happening. So I put it in a timeline. So in the 1980s, at first, it was discovered. This area was discovered, and in the 1996, it's been gazetted as Likas Wetlands and Sharing Managing Committee. So this is the first organization that involved, which is a mix between public, private, and NGO, and also community partnership. So they managed to establish the KK City Bird Sanctuary under the directive from the Chief Minister of Sabah. And then in the 1999, it was gazetted as a cultural heritage site. So this is a preparation of development and management plan and development of educational program funding from DANCE small grant. So during this time, there's a lot of planning and a lot of discussion have been done on what to do with this place and how we can use this place wisely, so that in the same time we can conserve this wetland area. All right. So in the year 2000, this place was open to the public, and people from around KK started to visit the in past called as KK CBS or Bird Sanctuary. And we, Sabah Wetland Conservation Society, started the formation in the year 2005, and officially LWSMC was dissolved in the year 2006 to make way for SWCS to manage this area and to operate independently as a self-sustainable center in future. And recently we gained or gazetted this place as a RAMSAR site in the year 2016, and we are the 7th RAMSAR site in Malaysia. Right. So you can see here that KK Wetland actually started from a collaboration between governmental, NGO, and also local communities to be formed. Right. So so there are 3 objectives of the formation of Sabah Wetland. So first, we aim to promote the conservation of wetland in Sabah, and the variety of plants, birds, and other kinds of living organisms found in wetlands. Secondly, is more of an education. So we aim to raise public awareness and appreciation of wetlands and public involvement in protecting wetland. And the third one is to manage KK Wetland as a model wetland center for the purpose of conservation, education, recreation, tourism, and research. So these are the 3 objectives of formation of Sabah Wetland. Thank you. Right. So the team, this is an organization chart. So here you can see the yellow box there. Is it? So all of us are working under a management committee. So there's a president in our society, and then there's starting from the green box is permanent staff in here in KK Wetland, and starting from the manager or executive secretary, and we have 3 permanent officer, which is the admin and account, conservation and science officer, environmental and education officer, and there's 1 assistant under both officers, and also 1 groundsman. So this is the organization chart of KK Wetland. So we only have right now 5 permanent staff managing this area. All right, so back to a history check. So here I want to tell you how we got the RAMSAR certification. First of all, there's a 9 criteria that we can fill to become a RAMSAR site, right? And KK Wetland actually fill up three criteria, and one of it is we are a representative wetland type. So we are quite special because we are the only 2 wetland in the world which is urban wetland, meaning we are very close to an urban area. So we are quite special because you cannot find this kind of place in other areas. And number 2 is it supports diverse range of species or mangroves, and this includes some globally threatened species. First one is critically endangered Bulgaria hyacinth, was found in this place, and there's the 2 birds, which is first is the Chinese egret, and also the lesser adjutant. So the presence of these animals also make us become a RAMSAR site. Right, and the third is we also become a nursery ground for fish and aquatic species. So yeah, is wetland area serves as a nursery ground for 21 fish species in this area, which includes crustaceans, mollusks, horseshoe crabs, and jellyfish. So all right, so moving on to the funding for KK Wetland. So how we generate income for this wetland area, but this is so KK Wetland receive funding from mangrove conservation projects. So this includes tree planting projects, and also receive funding from government organization, and also conservation levy from visitors. So the biggest funding we receive is by percentage is from tree planting projects around Sabah. So this includes from foundation, and also from companies who want to do CSR projects. So we applied for them for the funding, for the funding, of this project. And also from government organization, because of this area of KK wetland is still under state land. And so mainly the maintenance costs are supported by government organization. And conservation levy also, so the visitors who come here will have to pay for conservation levy. So we are also a tech exam organization, and hence we are a non-profit organization. All right. So these are the past projects we have done since the 2009. So as you can see, most of the projects that were involved here is involving restoration of mangrove forests and also some educational projects. So we bring some awareness to the planters who are involved in this project. Mainly is we engage with local students, and we also engage with local communities around Sabah area. Right. So these are the core activities that were done in KK Wetland. So first of all is environmental education program. As you can see here, these are the examples of picture from the first top left is an outreach program. So we go to local schools around Sabah and especially in the KK area to give a talk or awareness program to the students there. And to the left bottom is a picture of us engaging with kindergarten students. So kindergartens also do some activities around this KK wetland area, although it's not it's quite not suitable, but we do have some safety measures on them. And in the middle is we doing some interactive games with the local students around here. And yeah, and to the right is a local primary school. So yeah, we covered all group ages of students around Sabah. And also a mangrove tree planting program. And as you can see, on the mangrove tree planting, we engage more with the secondary school students and also the tertiary, which is college and university students, because it requires more intensive activities. So yeah, it involves planting these mangrove saplings inside a real conserve area. So well, most of the time when we engage in one area, we will need to construct a nursery in that area so that we can avoid any transmission of disease, or to avoid of the gene pool, the mangrove in that area from being disturbed by importing other mangroves from other places. So we try to avoid that. So yeah, these are the by record from last year, we already planted Right. And next, we do offer some organization or schools who want to do voluntary works here in the wetland. So this includes garbage cleaning in PK wetland area. So it's quite a huge problem for mangrove forests because the roots are very efficient in filtering this macro big trash, especially the ones that are floating. So when you operating ecotourism area and there's a lot of trash in your place, it's gonna be a quite not a good sight for our visitors here. Hence, we are very thankful that a lot of local students and also local organization come to our place and do some cleaning up of this place. So the main contributor of the trash problem here is because of the nature of KK wetland, which is very near to an urban area. Hence, we can expect that there's a high number of trash coming in and out to this KK wetland every day. So even if we already cleaned this place yesterday, when you come back today, you will see a new trash coming in. So it's quite a huge problem, but we do the what best we can do here, which is cleaning up this area, which contributes to the cleanliness of the city indirectly, right? Other than that, we also to the right here, some organization help us, and also students help us to do the planting of the mangrove seeds. So our nursery is not that big, and we can fit around 50,000 of mangrove saplings in one time. All right, I think that's all from me. I give back the stage to the MC.
Before we go on to the next panelist, we would like to open for question and answer because Mr. Muhammad Anik has another engagement later. So please send in your questions through the chat box and we will read it out for him to answer. Thank you. Also ask questions verbally. Before you ask your question, please introduce yourself and also the country or the department you are from. Thank you very much. So we have one question here for Mr. Muhammad Anik. Have the management effectiveness of the RAMSAR site been conducted in the last 2 years? Mr. Anik, can you please answer the question?
Still around?
Okay, so we have a question from Dr. Rahim. Have the management effectiveness of the RAMSAR site been conducted in the last 2 years? So I think Dr. Rahim is referring to the RMET. Right, so I think, yes, Dr. Rahim is referring to the RMET. And yes, there has been a management effectiveness conducted in the last 2 years, but is not, what's the word? So if not, is, yes, they have been done in the last 2 years, and it's not thoroughly, what's the word, menyeluruh, and we are still under the status of RAMSAR. So the criteria that we fulfill is still, we still have the criteria that we applied for the RAMSAR site. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Dr. Rahim.
Dr. Rahim, is it okay, the answer?
Hello, good morning. Yeah, well, certainly, it's good to hear the response, but I hope the others who are around listening to this also would continue as required under the Secretariat or RAMSA, that management effectiveness using the tool RMET be conducted and report to the National Focal Agency, because these are one of the pre-requirement now under RAMSA Regional Center for Support on Funding, that you must have a management report effectiveness on the area to entitle you to apply for grant to support your works from the RAMSAR Regional Center in Korea. So take note of that. Having one is not good enough if it's 5 or 10 years ago conducted, but at least it should be less than 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rahim. Any other questions from the audience? If not, I have one question for Mr. Muhammad Anik. May I know how you engage the community to be involved in any of your programs or events?
Thank you for the question. So how we engage with the local community is, so we at first do preliminary site visit to the area, and we do some contact or exchange contact with the local communities. But we do also engage first to the authority of the area. So, for example, in one kampong, we do engage with the JKK of the kampong first to respect the bureaucracy. And when that is done, we discuss on what can be done on that area and how many people are able they have a buy-in in the program that we can do in the area, especially the wetland area. So yeah, we offer to them usually the volunteering program. So they are voluntarily helping in to do the activities such as tree planting. So this involves in construction of the nursery and later also the planting of the trees. Other than tree planting, we also engage with local schools in that area. So we started from a visit of the schools and met the teachers, preferably their nolong kanan, what's English? But yeah, we met the teachers and we ensure at first that they are okay for the students to join the tree planting activities because of some schools are quite sensitive about the activities that are involving the students with water area. And so when that's finished, we can proceed with the education and the awareness. So yeah, other than to the villages, we also go to the schools, and at the end of the project, we aim how these local communities can benefit from this program by sustaining this project for the future of them. So it can be do it for some ecotourism for themselves, and also it can be they do the activities sustain it by themselves. Example, the tree planting. So yeah, so when they sustain this kind of activity, it can generate income for themselves from selling the tree seedlings, and also receive during engaging with us, they also receive some monetary from us. So that's how the basic, I mean, the general way of us engaging with local communities around here.
Thank you for sharing, Mr. Muhammad Anik. I'm sure we all agree that we can learn a thing or two from Sabah, Malaysia. So if there is no more questions, we would like to move on to the next panelist. We are honored to have with us today Dr. Seong Hyun Choi, who will be sharing his expertise on the roles of RAMSAR site in conserving and promoting biogeodiversity resilience. He is a dedicated and accomplished geopark coordinator with a comprehensive academic background in geological sciences. Professionally, he has been making significant contributions to the field since September 2015, serving as the geopark coordinator at the Jeonbuk Provincial Office. Demonstrating continuous commitment and also expertise, his role has expanded in May 2023 to include geopark coordinator for Jeonbuk West Coast UNESCO Global Geopark. Dr. Choi, we're excited to hear about your work at Ungok Wetland Reserve and Get Bowl Tidal Flat. The floor is yours.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Choi, Geopark Coordinator from the Jeonbuk West Coast, US Global Geopark, South Korea. Thank you very much for inviting me to the webinar as a panelist. Now, I will start the presentation on roles of RAMSAR site in conserving and promoting biogeodiversity resilience. Contents of the presentation are the general information, RAMSAR sites in Gochang area, objective and activities, and future plans. First, general information on our RAMSAR site. Jeonbuk West Coast UNESCO Global Geopark located southwest of the Korea Peninsula. In 2023, was designated as the fifth UNESCO Global Geopark of Korea. Surface area is about 1,009 square kilometers and has 32 geological sites, including of which Ungok Wetland and Gochang Tidal Flat are registered as the RAMSAR site. First, Ungok Wetland was registered as a RAMSAR site in 2011, and it is Korea's representative RAMSAR site with about 850 species of living things. It is also a core area of the Gochang Biosphere Reserve and designated as a national ecotourism site. So this site is an important ecotourism resource of our geopark. Next. Gochang Tidal Flat is registered in 2010, where you can see abundant biodiversity and rare geological resources in the world, so-called Shania. Gochang Tidal Flat is also a core area of the Biosphere Reserve and designated as a UNESCO World Heritage in 2022. Next, I will explain our objective and activities for the conservation and resilience of the RAMSAR site. In order to contribute to the improvement of the resilience of the biological and geodiversity, we have been set the three objectives and various activities are carried out accordingly. First objective is the conservation and utilization of the RAMSAR site through the involvement of the local community. Second, contribute to the promoting sustainable development of rural areas. And third, population decreasing and aging mitigation with RAMSAR brand. It is expected that the participation and self-conservation activities of local communities contribute to significantly to sustainable development and improvement of resilience of natural environment. So we keep carrying out to achieve the objectives. First, capacity building education, which is the most important role of local governments to induce participation in local communities. To create jobs for the elderly and perform the duties of conservation monitors, the grandmothers living near the RAMSAR site are trained as interpreters. It also operates an education program on self-creation income using local products for residents. Next. The activities of the local community. to promote understanding and wide utilization of Ramsar site. The first is the operation of wetland ecotourism program with a grandmother interpreter, which provides visitors with a differentiated service from other regions. In addition, there is a promotion program called Special Experience at Ramsar site for journalists. And based on the themes of climate change, upcycling, and biosphere, the Ungok Wetland Ecotourism Festival is held every year to provide a special experience for the promote understanding on conservation of environment. Other self-activities of local community for the conservation of the Ramsar site. Management of local residents, which are monitoring and cleaning, survey and monitoring on ecological resource, and it is the development of and operation of environmental education programs. Next, future plan. I have introduced our efforts for the conservation and wide utilization of the Ramsar site, and will briefly explain our future plans. First, to contribute to sustainable development through this systematic conservation and utilization, we will try to build a new utilization model like this. To this end, based on our geoparks current framework, operation of eco-friendly tour programs, and linking various tourism resources and developing a new content to creation income for residents by utilizing local products. It will contribute to sustainable development and biodiversity promotion. Next, we will carry out the development of the environmental education programs that can spread the importance of biodiversity to the public. These programs will be themed around the destruction of biological habitats and rising sea levels and due to global warming. Okay. Thank you for listening. And finally, I will always wish the Sarawak Delta become a new member of the UNESCO Global Geopark. Thank you again.
Thank you for your sharing. Yes, you are right. Ramsar site plays such a big part in the biodiversity resilience. Usually, hardly to connect the biology and the geology, particularly in the wetland area, because the public didn't see the geological element physically and clearly, actually. But the fact is all below the surface, including the RAMSAR. The wetland area is formed by the geological element, whether it's metamorphic rock, igneous rock, or sedimentary rock. However, as you already proved, from your sharing, your part is among the best or among the appropriate framework for us to connect the biology and the geological elements. Probably the best framework to connect the biology and geological element, as you already proved from your presentation. Thank you very much for your sharing, Dr. Choi, for highlighting this so that we will all appreciate them and even more. All right, the next up is we turn to my friend Dr. Azmin Munif, who will be. Is it?
At the end, yeah.
Is the invitation at the end?
At the end.
Okay, all right. Dr. Azmil, who will be talking about the Kilim wetland, the best practice in sustainable resource management and development as geopark. Dr. Azmil is the manager of the tourism division at the Langkawi Development Authority, or LADA, and he's dedicated to the strategic development and promotion of Langkawi as a premier tourism destination. And he also plays pivotal roles in positioning Langkawi's geotourism offering and lists the esteemed Langkawi UNESCO Global Geopark, the first UNESCO designated geopark in Southeast Asia. Let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. Azmil. Munif, goes to you, Dr. Azmil.
All right. Thank you so much, Moderator Dr. Dana, and the beautiful lady moderator there. Right. Well, first of all, congratulations again. Thank you for the opportunity, Sarawak Forestry, to invite me to share our wetland conservation. Of course, Sarawak Forestry also the guardian of RAMSAR site and aspiring UNESCO Global Geopark. Before I start, we don't have RAMSAR site in Langkawi, but we do very much level best to uplift the aspiration of RAMSAR site at our specifically our Kilim Geoforest Park. All right, next slide, please. So this is the actually simple content that I plan to speak today. The introduction and the overview of Kilim Karst Geoforest Park, the potential threat to Kilim if we don't do anything to Kilim, to wetland, and what is Langkawi UNESCO Global Geopark do as opposed to RAMSAR site, and of course last one is closing remarks. Next, please. Well, this is our map on the left. If you're very familiar of Langkawi, we are actually an archipelago of 99 islands altogether. We have been designated as UNESCO Global Geopark since 2007. It was 18 years ago. So mangrove forest in Langkawi and wetland in Langkawi is very crucial ecosystem in Langkawi in presenting our UNESCO Global Geopark. That place not only crucial for ecosystem, but also the economic powerhouse for the community over there. And as you all know, mangrove is vital for biodiversity, water quality, and coastal resilience. Talking about coastal resilience, if you remember 2004, we had a 9.5 Richter scale earthquake in Banda Aceh, and there was a tsunami that also hit Langkawi. At that time, mangrove, our wetland, saved us a lot. Only one fatality happened as opposed to Penang, another island close to us. There's more than 20 deaths at that time. And of course, everybody knows the importance of wetlands. It's for biodiversity, carbon sequestration, and then of course, coastal protection. Langkawi has actually 16 forest reserves amounting 26,000, close to 27,000 hectares. And 60% of Langkawi still remain intact with primary forest reserve. On top of dry inland forest, we also have mangrove forest, which is about 3,000 hectares. If you take a look at the map there, the blue color representing the mangrove forest. There's one book written on Langkawi, the Mangrove Flora of Langkawi. It says that in the world, there are 114 world species of mangrove, 104 recorded in Malaysia, and Langkawi has 76 species recorded in Langkawi. So we have close to 80% world mangrove in a very small place in Langkawi. So very high of concentration species ever ever recorded. And how do we actually push and promote our wetland is through Geoforest Park. Actually, Geoforest Park has been introduced back in 2004 by Forestry Department. It's a combination of geological element and of course the forestry element. This forestry involving flora and fauna, and specifically flora is the mangrove. And most of our geosite is a site where there's evidence of earth formation. Most of the geosite sits in our forest reserve. Okay, next please. Well, let's zoom into our wetland. Kilimkas Geoforest Park is actually located on the northeast of Langkawi. Is already made up of 7 forest reserve. Our forest reserve is classified as non-output forest, so meaning that nobody can go and chop any trees and bring out. And the size of our wetland is about 8,000 hectares, and of course it sits on limestone. Geologically, it sits on the substratum of limestone. So the mangrove over there it has the same size, same height. If you've been there, it's very uniform of mangrove that we have. And interestingly, when we were established as Geopark in 2006 as a national geopark, the visitors there visited there only 42,000 people. And last year in 2024, we recorded close to 900,000 visitors. It's 20,000 times in the span of 18 years. So this is where the management is very important here to segregate the tourists that go there at one time. So in Kilim, in our wetland, we have identified 12 geosite and biosites. What are those? Those are pit stop for tourists who take a boat to go there, and there's a guide who explain what is the importance geosite and biosite over there. And of course, we have given that place to Kilim Cooperative, established in 2010. Okay, next please. So these are, I'm sharing first the potential threats to Kilim wetland if we do not do anything. We are, as the Langkawi National Global Geopark is the guardian of the wetland. So if we do not do anything, these are the potential threat. But of course, the following slide, we have strategized things to manage the wetland. Of course, in Malaysia or in the Kilim per se, a very small place where visited by about 900,000 tourists. There are more than 10 agencies, government agencies involving. Like, for example, the jetty belongs to LADA, boat is supplied by cooperative, the enforcement agency look at the boat, speeding and safety is by Marine Department, Marine Police, Coastal Maritime Agency, Wildlife is taken care by Wildlife Department. As for mangrove tree and of course other trees is under Forestry Department, and the rock formation, the cast is taken care by Department of Mineral and Geoscience, the land is by district office, and of course the rubbish is done by local municipal. So we need a very coordinated management at Kilim wetland, otherwise it will be haywire over there. And the second thing is we could see the biodiversity decline because of human disturbance. We could see the fragmentation already, and overfishing also we could see that at the beginning. So this need to be coordinated well to make sure that Kilim sustain. And then of course the tourism growth, overcrowding, especially peak season. You see Langkawi received more than, last year it was 3 million visitors. And we also receive cruise passengers that come. Every time they come with a big number. More than 2,000 people will come down to Langkawi. So they will swarm our swamp area. Then of course, about 400 to 500 tourists come at one time. So we need to manage them well. And of course, number 4 threat is Kilim sits next to our only landfill in Langkawi. So we need to really manage that well to make sure that there's no leakage from leachate coming from our landfill, and there's no flying rubbish goes to the river. So these are the potential threat that Kilim face if nobody does anything. Okay, next please. Right. So what do we do as opposed to RAMSAR site? Of course, whatever we do is just we also uplift the aspiration of RAMSAR, who wanted to take care of the wetland. So 3 things that we do: we protect, restore, and promote. How do we protect? Because Geopark has no act in it. So we are using the current act that we have. There are 4 acts that involving at our wetland, and 2 plans that we do and manage well. The act is National Forestry Act, Environmental Quality Act, Wildlife Conservation Act, and Fisheries Act. At our wetland, of course, 2 plans under Kedah State and Langkawi Local Plan. That's number 1. Number 2, we restore the mangrove through our geomangrove program. So since 2022, we start to we have a program planting mangrove. Currently, there are more than 10,000 sapling already being planted, involving 3,000 participants, namely there are banks, university, schools that come and do their CSR. And the third one is promote. What is wetland without tourists to appreciate? So what do we do is we segmentize Langkawi's attraction into at least 6 places to go. We have 3 geoforest park. We have 1 geotourism trail. We have 1 bio-geo trail, and we have 1 mountain trail. Out of 6, we have 4, at least 4 trail that go to our wetland. Being Kilim is the most famous one. This is how we promote. We make sure the other 3, we segregate those who wanted to experience the mangrove tour, not only focusing on Kilim, but they can also go to Tuba, Dayang or Kubang Badak. Right, next please. These are the other key conservation programs in Langkawi involving our wetland. You see, wetland also not only do good for our, it can store 5 more carbon compared to our rainforest, but it also can keep the rubbish inside the swamp. So what do we do is, since 2020 we collected rubbish 15,000 kilo already. We team up with our Idaman, it's our cleaning contractor companies. They have been supporting us very good every year, every day, every week. And of course, these floating rubbish tend to stuck at the root of our mangrove. So we have done the collection with them at the outer, especially on the outer islands at Kilim. And the other one is we have done, Idaman has done recycled drive-through. What we collected, we segregate those rubbish, and we diverted from landfill. So to date, since 2022, is more than 100,000 kilo diverted from landfill. And then of course, when it's diverted, when people send that rubbish, they would collect award, recycle award. This shows 58,000, but I've got the latest data. Last year alone, more than 168,000 being paid to tourists or to local people who send their recycled items. And of course, on top of that, whatever we do, already we reduce the carbon that goes to landfill that need to go through our incinerator. So it's very good program, recycle drive-through that done by Idaman. And the other one, we have a program under UNESCO Global Geopark. It's a 0-kilometer geogastronomy since 2024. What is 0-kilometer geogastronomy? We certified a restaurant that only manage their raw material within 0 kilometer, meaning that not more than 1 kilometer they get their resources. So what I'm trying to say here, 2 of the restaurants sits in mangrove area, which is the bottom part. The 2 bottom part is Restaurant Nelayan and Crab Farm Restaurant. They are sourcing their raw material using them. So we do not want them to get their raw material outside of their 0-kilometer radius, because this is to reduce our carbon footprint as well. So it's very important to recognize people who does good at our wetland. Right, next please. Next please. Right, okay, in the closing, there are few slides. This is one of the few closing slides. Of course, closing remarks. Our wetland is a beacon of conservation and hope. No, before that. You see, how do we manage our, go to the closing remark, please. Right, okay. Why we say it's a beacon of conservation and hope? Because our wetland is, as I said earlier on, not only good to our mangrove area, but it is the economic powerhouse for the community. So the community that we engage them, we empower them, has won a very prestigious award. They have won the best tourist attraction in Malaysia in 2000.
Sorry, we have a bit of lagging in Langkawi. Just a reminder for our viewers, our question and answer segment will answer the rest of the panelist questions later. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm back. It was, the line was cut off. Shall I continue, or it's already done?
Yes, please. Please continue, Doctor.
Right. So so these are the closing remark. Why we said it's a beacon of conservation and hope, because Kilim is not only the best showcase of our wetland, but rather is also economic powerhouse to local community. People can experience how wetland is being taken care of, and those community has won several awards of taking care of the wetland. They win the best tourist attraction, the best community cooperative in 2004, and the best ASEAN award for community-based tourism standard. And of course, recently they also won the Sustainability Awards 2024. Then next, please. Okay, this slide is a few other awards that they won, about 16 of them. since their establishment in 2008. So this is to show that how important they are as our stakeholder in taking care of our wetland. Okay, next please. Okay, these are the two slides that I would like to share. We are having our Regional Coast and Geotourism Festival International Conference. This is just if any one of you would like to indulge in our wetland activities, please come and join us. We have Geotourism Festival starting together with Indonesia Geopark Network in Ciletuh, Perubahan Ratu, continue with Kabumen in July, and of course the ending part is in Langkawi, 25th, 29th of July. Okay, next please. And the other conference that we are having is the Asia Pacific Geopark Network Symposium. This is next year from 6th to 10th of September 2026. We are also engaging with people who would like to understand more of our wetland, how we manage it, how we make sure that Koperasi has a high sense of belonging. I think that's about it, my presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for the meaningful takeaways, Dr. Azmil. I'm sure some of the viewers have already marked their dates to visit you in Langkawi soon. Last but not least, I would like to call upon our final panelist, Mr. Ahmad Nazri from Forest Department Sarawak. He is an officer under the International Affairs Department. He will share about the journey towards RAMSAR based on Selalang Forest Reserve and Rajang Mangrove experience. Mr. Ahmad Nazri, please. Mr. Nazri, can you unmute your speaker?
Hello, a very good morning. I'm sorry for this problem. Okay, my name is Ahmad Nazri bin Ibrahim, and I'm from Forest Department Sarawak. First of all, I would like to thanks to the moderator for these sessions and all the audience. Today, I will present on the journey towards RAMSAR. This is the contents of my presentation today. First is about the RAMSAR. Second is my project timeline. Third is introductions. Number 4 is the proposed area for RAMSAR. And the 5th is activities and programs that have been done under this project. Let me share to all of you about the RAMSAR. The RAMSAR Convention on the Use Preservation of Wetlands is an international agreement that was inaugurated in RAMSAR City, Iran on 2nd February 1971. This designation provides for national actions and international cooperations on wetland conservation and the sustainable and wise use of this resource. For the information of all the audience, there are 7 areas in Malaysia that have been gazetted as a RAMSAR site. There is Pulau Kukuk, Sungai Pulai, Tangai Piai in Johor, Tasik Barat in Pahang, Kota Kinabalu Wetland and Lower Kinabatangan in Sabah, and lastly is Kuching Wetland National Parks in Sarawak. This is the 9th criteria for the selection of the RAMSAR site. There is criteria 1 is Group A criteria, and criteria 2 to criteria 9 is Group B criteria. This is a project timeline for the projects under the Forest Department Sarawak. For 2022, there is the identifications of suitable Kuala Rajang wetlands. 2023 is field data collections by the staff of Forest Department Sarawak itself, and also management engagement sessions with agencies and communities involved in that area. In 2034, we've done a RAMSAR reserve site nominations and RAMSAR site assessment workshops, and also SEPA programs with stakeholders and local community to give them awareness on the RAMSAR and also about the wetland. The way forward for 2025, we are now on a preparation of MMKN paper. There is for the approvals to the Sarawak state governments for the RAMSAR site nominations. After this approval, we can proceed to the multidisciplinary study and feasibility of proposed site. And hopefully on the 2027, this Kuala Rajang site will be nominated as a RAMSAR site. Then let's go to the interactions of these projects. This project name is Conservation and Protection of Wetlands and Watersheds in the heart of Borneo. This project is under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Urban Development Sarawak, Mudan. It is under a state funding project. There is a funding under the Sarawak. This project is implementing by the Sarawak Forest Department and is under International Affairs Divisions. There's a period of 5 years for these projects starting from 2022 to 2026. This aim and objective of these projects is to preserve and protect wetland in Kuala Rajang and also water catchment area in the heart of Borneo. There is Ulu Balai Kapit area to monitoring activities, studies, and engagement sessions with communities and stakeholders. But today we are focusing on the preserve and protection of the wetland in the Kuala Rajang project. On 2024, RAMSAR assessment workshop for the proposed area have been done by Forest Department Sarawak under International Affairs Divisions. This is the purpose of evaluating and discussing the proposed site to be nominated as a RAMSAR site. The workshop involved various relevant agencies, stakeholders, and also community in discussing and evaluating the proposed RAMSAR site areas. These are the proposed area that have been done and the result of the workshop. There is a Kuala Selalang Mangrove Permanent Forest, the proposed in Rajang Mangrove National Park, and Paloh Protected Forest. Here I show to all of you the information about this proposed area. First is Kuala Selalang Mangrove Permanent Forest. The area covered is 1,175 hectares. That's under authority of Forest Department Sarawak. For the Rajang Mangrove National Park, the area covered is 10,091 hectares. That is under the authority of Sarawak Forestry Corporation, SFC. That is under a totally protected area. We have written a letter to get comments on this from the SFC, and there is no objections from the SFC about this Raja Mangrove National Park. Industry is Palo Protected Forest. There is area covered is 1,000 hectare. Is Authority of Forest Department Sarawak itself. So the total area for this RAMSAR site is 12,534 hectare. This is the map on Kuala Salang Permanent Forest and Palo Protected Forest. The left side is Kuala Salang Mangrove Permanent Forest, and for the right side is a Palo Protected Forest map. The result of the workshop have been done in 2024 with the authorities, stakeholders, and also the community. We have found out that the Kuala Salang Mangrove Permanent Forest and Raja Mangrove National Park have its criteria. For the criteria number 1, it have a healthy mangrove stands. For the criteria number 2 and number 3 is bald heron leaves. Bald heron, silver leaf monkey, Kejora fern. For the criteria number 3 is breeding grounds for fish, clams, snail, and shrimps. And for number 4, there is for bird is a Chinese egret. There is no justification for the criteria number 5 and number 6. For the criteria number 7 and number 8 is scientific on the fish. They found that there is a tree fish and poppet fish, and also a repair site for fish and shrimps species. And lastly is other taxonomy. For the criteria number 9 is a crocodile on the area. Next is for Palo Protected Forest. For criteria number 1, they are a mangrove forest. They are submerged and influenced by the tides. The criteria number 2 and number 3, there is for species threatened and ecological communities. There is bald heron, proboscis monkey, UAD dolphin, humpback dolphins, spineless porpoise, and estuarine crocodile. And for the criteria number 3, if a mangrove forest is a habitat. For the criteria number 4 and number 5, it is influenced by a controlled strong waves from the sea and major floods. For the criteria number 5, they are reported from WWF. There are only 6,168 birds in the Blawai pattern and Tanjung Manis areas. For criteria number 6 and 7, there are no justification on it. For the criteria number 8 and number 9, on the international important and the breeding ground for fish, crabs, shrimps, local, and others. And for number 9 is for the others taxa. There's dolphin, they found also on the area, wildcat, deer, white boa, and proboscis monkey. Here, next, I will share on the activities and programs for 2022 and 2024. We have done a wetland SEPA program, communication, environments, and public awareness programs for students in the schools to give them awareness about the importance to conserve our forests, especially on the wetlands. This is also the program that have been done by Forest Department Sarawak. There are also activities program. There is monitoring activities and site survey of the Kuala Rajang area. On that survey, they found a dolphin in the Kuala Rajang area, that as you all can see on the right picture. Other than that, we are also doing a radar programs that involve the community stakeholder and the community to give them awareness and also to get support from them on the nomination of this RAMSAR. This is a program, a run of programs in the Kuala Rajang. They also attended by our Director of Forest of Sarawak. It's himself. Other than that, also we have also have a Kuala Rajang Wetland Area Community Development Empowerment programs at the Kuching Wetland National Park, as this Kuching Wetland National Park is a benchmark to us as a benchmark for the RAMSAR site. For the outcome of the project is the disclosure to stakeholders and communities around the proposed RAMSAR site area. The second is stakeholder and community views if the site is nominated as a new RAMSAR site in Sarawak. And the third one is the shortlist of proposed RAMSAR site for further assessment by consultant in a multidisciplinary study and RAMSAR site feasibility. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Back to the moderator.
Thank you for sharing your experience with us, Mr. Ahmad Nazri. Good to know that the effort from Forestry Department on the wetland area in Sarawak, actually, particularly the wetland area outside of the totally protected area. Now we move to our question and answer session. We have received some other questions from the audience, particularly to the Langkawi and also the Jumbo. Probably first we go to the fastest panelist, to the Dr. Choi. Are you still around, Dr. Choi?
Dr. Choi.
Choi.
Aku tak tanya dia.
There are 3 questions for you actually from the audience. Quite powerful question actually. One is about the funding is here. How amount the approximate? Oh, okay, still.
Nantilah. You go on.
We taken first, no? Okay. How amount the approximate annual budget for the RAMSAR site management in your area, Jumbo, Dr. Choi? And the second question is, what do you think is the most important things to promoting biology and geodiversity? And the third question is, do you have any plans such as international networking to revitalize RAMSAR site operation? Please, Dr. Choi and your team.
Right. First question about my answer is, it provides about $100,000 each year. Of this, 50% is supported by the central government, and the remaining 50% is 50% is paid by local governments. And second answer, what do you think is the most important things for promoting geodiversity? From my answers, above all, I think the role of the local community is the most important. It is important that various activities for conservation and utilization of local communities will greatly contribute to the promotion of biodiversity. Therefore, the role of local governments in strengthening the capacity of the local community is also an important factor. Last answer is we are keep finding ways to activate the operation of the RAMSAR site through the international networking. In particular, networking with regions that operate both the UNESCO Global Geoparks and RAMSAR site are prioritized. Thank you.
Thank you for your answer, Dr. Choi. Next picture.
Now let's move on to Mr. Farid from Indonesia, please.
Yes. Hello, Sophia, Dr. Dana. How are you?
Hi. Hi, Mr. Farid.
Nice to meet you again. Okay. It's really interesting, yeah. Listening to all the sharing session that have been delivered from all the panelists, and I learned a lot from this session. I have two questions actually. First question is for Dr. Azmil. I remember the last time I went to Kilimjo Forest in Langkawi in 2023 during the regional course. At that time, we visit the eagle sites seeing. And I remember at that time, the boat is actually feeding the eagle, so they can come and eating the feeding that the fishermen given to allow the tourists to see the eagle. And I remember at the time Prof. Yati told us that it's actually not allowed to feeding the eagle. And it actually also happened in Indonesia here, how the tour operators or the site management is trying to invite the animals to come so the tourists can see closely. Like in Gorontalo, we have also the whale shark watching, that they feed the whale shark to come to close so the tourists can take the selfies and so on and so forth. So I don't think it's a sustainable for us to do that. So how actually Langkawi Geopark management or all the stakeholders there to their effort to try to not doing this as a long-term initiatives, right? And we know that this is not good to do. So what is your strategies? I hope it's already not do that again currently, but I'd like to know what is your strategy to do that. That's the first question, Dr. Dana. And the second question is actually for our friend from Sarawak, in terms of the governance, because currently I'm doing my study in Malaysia, actually, learning about researching about the governance, and I'd like to know about what is the key factors that influence the effectiveness of wetland governance. I don't know who will answer my question, but actually you can answer my question, Dr. Dan. But anyone who can answer the question, please. What is the key factors that influence the effectiveness of wetland governance in Sarawak? Yes, I think that's all my question. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, Mr. Farid.
Azmil.
Dr. Azmil, can you answer the first question first?
Yes, thank you so much, Bapak Farid. Bapak Farid is the president for Indonesia Global Geopark Network. I cannot on my video. I'm not sure why, but it's okay. Talking about one of our activities in Kilim is very interesting to see how eagle come very close to the boat. They are at one time we could experience about 70 to 80 birds coming very close to us. You see how, let me tell you how this program started. This program actually, fishermen, when they start to fish in the past, when they come back to our delta, our estuary, they start to segregate the boat, they segregate the fish. So the fish that they don't want, they just throw back to the river. So when this eagle see that, the eagle will come very close and catch that unwanted fish. So it takes 2 years for these birds, for this predator, for this eagle to be comfortable with human being. So after that, this community see this is a very good opportunity to showcase to the world how to look the bird, the eagle at very in the wild, very close range. So in the past, there's no control of we giving food to these birds. There's no control at all. So every time boat goes, any boat can give. But after COVID, when the COVID hit us, we were worried that these birds do not have the hunting skill anymore. So they will eventually die. That was what was we thought. But these birds, their hunting skill is still sharp. They go to the village, take whatever food is there. Some if you leave, it's a chicken. Normally chicken, they can jump and fry the chicken. And of course, in our river, there's a lot of snakes as well. So these birds survive. And after COVID, we started to, what we do, we started to limit the food that we giving to them, because we want the birds also sharpen their hunting skill. So what we limit, we only give 3 times in the morning, after in the afternoon, and late afternoon. That's it. Only 3 times in the day. So we have limit that, and we have given a proper food rather than parts of chicken. We give real fish that being injected by some air, so this bird can catch the real food. So these are the things that we do. And of course, we along the way in the future, we need a proper study to do this, make sure that there's no population degradation of eagles over there. All we know by our naked eye, we could see the population is increasing. There's no birds dying, but still we need a proper study on this. I think that's my answer for now. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asmil. So now I'd like to call upon Mr. Aziz to answer the second question, please.
Okay, good afternoon now. To answer your question, regarding the governance of wetlands in Sarawak, of course, when we talk about governance, we cannot just rely on because the local authorities in wetlands management, we cannot just rely on that. Of course, we're going to take part from
Unmute, I think.
Okay. Of course, we invite the SPC members from the local communities surrounding the Kuching wetland to participate in managing the Kuching wetland itself. It is crucial that we have these members to participate, as they are the one who are living within the wetland itself. And what SPC means is special park committees, which comprises from the leaders of communities surrounding the national. So our action. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Okay. Even though it's like up and down, I think I know the point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to read out a question from the audience. This one is for Dr. Asmil as well. So the question is, have you tabulated the benefits instead of general statement from the site after it is listed as a UNESCO Global Geopark? Dr. Asmil, please.
Right, thank you. This question was from Dr. Rahim Matsah. I've answered some in the chat.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
No problem, no problem. I'll expand a bit. You see, in my earlier presentation, I said last year we recorded about 890,000 visitors coming to Kilim. There are two entrances going to Kilim. One, the Kilim itself. The other one is Tanjung Ru. So how do we know this number? Is there's one place in Kilim, which is the Bat Cave, there's need to pay. Other than that, it seems that it's still we are still losing in terms of revenue, especially the forestry department. So by then we know the number of tourists actually going to Kilim. That's number one. Number two, the package offer, the cheapest package right now is 3,350 ringgit per boat for 2 hours. So those are the minimum. So by dividing the numbers of visitors that going, and then we could tabulate actually the profit that they're getting for both koperasi in Tanjung Ru and Kilim. And some of boatmen now they are millionaire already, because from one boat, we have one example, one guy from one boat to now he has 21 boats altogether. So it's already making him a millionaire in asset. So inshallah, if Kilim is still going to manage very well, we could see more millionaire in the making. Thank you.
Asmil. Now I'd like to read out a question for Dr. Choi. So what do you think is the most important thing for promoting biogeodiversity? And can you share some experience or examples? Thank you. Dr. Choi, please.
I'm sorry, can you tell me again questions?
Okay, the question is, what do you think is the most important thing for promoting biogeodiversity? And can you share some of your personal experience or give some examples in doing so?
Okay, I think first of all, the role of the local community is the most important. It's important that various activities for conservation and utilization of local community will greatly contribute to the promotion of biodiversity. For example, self-monitoring and promotion like the ecotourism festival is the good way on biodiversity. So, in my opinion, one of the most important role is the local government for the education to local residents. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. I have one question from Noor Hanisa. This one is for Dr. Choi and also Dr. Asmil, whichever one of you can share. In terms of zoning management in wetland area, Which one should be a priority in your opinion? Should it be replanting mangroves on cleared land or leaving it as tidal flat for the migratory birds? And she said she understood that replanting mangroves is good to rehabilitate the ecosystem, while the tidal flat is also important for the habitat for the shorebirds. So can you share your view, please, Dr. Asmil?
Yes, thank you so much for the question. Well, in the case of Langkawi, all our wetland sits at the forest reserve area. So there's no way that we do any other zoning. There's only one zoning, forest reserve area, forest reserve forest. So there's no way that you can go and chop any trees and do any whatever that you like. So practically, so the wetland being preserved automatically with the act that we have. And to do, of course, I understand tidal flat is important for migratory birds as for Langkawi. This migratory bird will go and stop at our paddy field instead, rather than wetland. So we could see a very small tidal flat available in Langkawi, also bird stop. For me, if you ask me, leave it the mangrove as it is. Don't clear, don't do any zoning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asmil. For the last question, this one is for Dr. Choi. So someone in the audience is very interested in the grandmother interpreters. She wants to know, how do you engage them to join you as interpreters, and do you have certain criteria when doing selection? Dr. Choi?
Sorry, can you write on checkbox in your question?
Okay. For the rest of the questions from the audience, we will ask the panelists to answer them in the chat box. Over to you, Dr. Dana.
All right. All the answer from the panelists. I hope all of the audience who ask the questions satisfied with the answer. All right, as we come to the end of our event, we'll take a moment to reflect on the insight shared today. To officially conclude our program, it is my honor to introduce Yang Berbahagia Dato' Haji Hamdan, who will be deliver the closing remarks. Yang Berbahagia Dato' Hamdan is the Geopark Manager of the aspiring Sarawak Delta UNESCO Global Geopark. He is also the Director of the Forestry Sarawak Department Malaysia. Let's welcome Yang Berbahagia Dato' Haji Hamdan to deliver the closing remark. Over to you, Dato'.
Thanks, Dr. Dana. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, very clear.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. A very good afternoon to all of you. Thanks to both the moderator, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers and participants. A very warm greeting to all of you. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Sarawak Forestry Corporation and the Forest Department Sarawak under Geopark Management Unit for successfully organizing this first ever collaborations between a Geopark and a RAMSAR site. These milestones mark a significant step in strengthening conservation efforts through partnership and knowledge sharing. The Sarawak government has long been committed to conservation. Over the past more than 100 years, the Forest Department Sarawak has led numerous conservation initiatives. Since the gazettement of Bako National Park in 1957, our first totally protected area for Sarawak, The protected area has been expanded significantly. As of now, Sarawak has gazetted approximately 900,000 hectares of land of TPAs, encompassing 47 national parks, 5 wildlife sanctuaries, and 15 nature reserves. Additionally, 1.24 million hectares of territorial water has been designated as a marine TPAs, further reinforcing our commitment to preserving Sarawak rich biodiversity. Ever since the restructuring of Forest Department in Sarawak and Sarawak Forestry Corporation in 2020, Sarawak Forestry Corporation has been entrusted by the state government to secure and manage TPA in Sarawak. Apart from designing land as a TPA, a totally protected area for conservation, implementing the Heart of Borneo initiative is another key effort led by the Forest Department Sarawak to conserve biodiversity while promoting sustainable development. The integrated landscape approach under the HOB framework enabled the state government to carry out conservation efforts guided by 5-step strategic pillars, fostering smart partnership across various sectors. Sarawak dedications to sustainability and conservation has gained international recognition. Today, we take pride in having 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Mulu National Park and the newly inscribed Niah National Park, as well as Kuching Wetland National Park, are designated RAMSAR site. Moving forward, we are setting our sight on another global recognition, the UNESCO Global Geopark status for the Sarawak Delta Geopark, our first geopark initiative. The road to UNESCO Global Geopark status is ongoing, requiring continuous research, conservation, and community engagement efforts. Sarawak Delta Geopark remains committed to strengthen partnership, enhancing geotourism, and promoting sustainability in alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Achieving UNESCO Global Geopark recognitions require collaboration, co-management, and shared responsibility. So this webinar, Sustainable Resource Management and Development in Wetland, is an excellent example of how we can work together to enhance wetland conservation. The participation of experts from other RAMSARs and wetland sites is from Johor, Sabah, Langkawi, and the Republic of Korea enrich our collective understanding of wetlands management and how best to create awareness on potential anthropogenic threat to the wetland ecosystem. I'm also delighted to note the presence of wetland manager and UNESCO Global Geopark representative from Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Hong Kong, Malaysia National Geopark, and the participants from the various agencies and higher institutions, learning institutions. Before I conclude, join me in thanking the keynote speakers and all the panelists of this invaluable sharing and insightful discussion. A big thanks to the Secretariat too for the arranging of this webinar. I sincerely hope this webinar has provided a valuable platform for Geopark and RAMSAR site manager to foster new collaborations, enhance insight, and strengthen network for enhanced research and conservation of our wetland ecosystem. Let us work together to protect and sustain our natural heritage for future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind words, Yang Berbahagia Dato'. That brings us to the end of today's webinar. A huge thank you to our speakers for their valuable thoughts and also to our audience for engaging with us. If you'd like to revisit the discussion today, the recording will be shared on YouTube. Don't forget to follow and like Sarawak Forestry Corporation's Facebook page for updates on future webinars. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you, Dr. Dana, Sophia.
Thank you.
Thank you.